Happy Wednesday. It is such an honor to be here. Today, I am going to be talking more in depth about something that I spoke of last video that I released here on YouTube. If you didn't see it, it's an important video about the energy of 2024 and a very important focus to allow yourself to be able to heal. So please make sure to check that out. I am Robin Lee. I'm a medical intuitive in Southern California. I've been in practice for over 32 years. I work with people on a daily basis and help them understand the choices that they make and how it affects their mental and physical health. And in that process, it becomes a very healing experience as we learn to eat differently. We learn to process life differently. We honor how we feel. All of these things together create a very dynamic healing. And the body is very, very wise. The body knows how to balance and heal itself if it's given enough of what it actually needs to be taken care with and of. So that being said, I spoke last time about this one habit. The habit is about waking up and taking 10 slow, big, deep breaths, or even around 3 minutes of slow, big, deep breaths as we wake up before we get out of bed. And those breaths are slow, and the slower, the better. And it's in through the nose, it's holding it, and it's exhaling out through the mouth. 10 slow, big, deep breaths. So we wake up from sleep, and everybody's like, yeah, we wake up from sleep, and we get going. And I want you to watch an animal. I want you to watch a child and the organic process of waking up. So we're waking up in our body. Hopefully we're getting good sleep, because it's one of the main keys of our healing ability is getting good, proper rest. We wake up and we're feeling refreshed. It's really important that we wake up and then we take a conscious step before we get out of bed, allowing ourselves to do everything that we need to do in a given day. There's something to say for 10 slow, deep breaths before you get out of bed, because it allows you to consciously tune in to a feeling that you're going to get when you actually choose to breathe and connect in. There's a space that you create for yourself when you do this first thing. You're not waiting, you're not giving to anybody else, you're giving yourself this space to breathe, which creates a space for yourself, which creates a different perspective over time, a different lens to begin to look out of and look through. When we wake up, we put our feet to the ground, we get going, we make our coffee or tea, we do whatever, we help the kids. It's go, 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 go from that moment on for most of us. Creating a habit that secures space for you first thing in the morning will help build a healing battery pack for you. It'll help you feel more calm and centered. So centered looks like mentally relaxed, confident, feels more spacious in a given day, actually, as you get used to starting your day with that pause in the morning. Most people that I work with, when I first start working with them, get up and they'll say, yeah, I take some downtime. And what is that like? And they say, well, they wake up with an alarm clock and, they take some time. And I said, what do you do with that time? And I would say over half of the people that I have the awesome blessing of working with will talk about how they spend time on their iPad or they spend time on their phone. And I want you to be really crystal clear that when you pick up your phone, when you pick up your iPad, you don't really know what you're going to find. So some of you might have money in the stock markets and you might have an alert. Some of you might be going through drama. Some of you have friends that might be going through drama. Some of you might have potential conflict. Some of you have the news come directly to your phone. So there's no ability to control the present piece of that moment when you're picking up your phone. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's a really bad habit in the first big hour of your day, but definitely that first few moments of the day, Think of it as a sacred time. You're waking up and you've been given a blessing. You've been given a blessing to wake up and begin a new day. Just that in itself, if you really think about that, is a remarkable honor, right? Not taking the fact that we woke up today for granted, that we give ourselves permission to feel, wow, I get to be here today. So when you take the time to not check your phone, to focus on those slow, big 10 breaths, there's an interesting thing over time that starts to happen to our central nervous system, to how our minds work. And we work in a more methodical, grounded, calm, connected way. And it's really remarkable. And I invite you to try it. Try it for 21 days. Try it for a month. Try it for a week. Before you go on your phone, before you give energy and time to people around you, before you jump out of bed, focus on those 10 slow, big, deep breaths. It's a way of honoring your breath, because without your breath, you're not going to be here. Breath connects you to a feeling of grace. It connects you to a feeling of calm. It creates you to a feeling of connection. And for me, it connects me to a feeling of gratitude. It allows me a spacious feeling when I wake up and get moving on with my day, that I can trust myself in the process and that I'm not on hyperdrive all the time. That's the one thing I urge all of you to work on this year, is stop doing so much and figure out how to work smarter, not harder, and simplify. So much of us reward ourselves with buying things, with alcohol, with fancy dinners. Not that any of that is bad. I want you to pay attention, though, to ask yourself, is that simplifying to allow you to work smarter, not harder? It's a very important thing to think about. There are so many habits in our day that we have to recuperate from, and we don't even realize it. So sometimes people that work with me will get frustrated when they're trying to heal, and they're like, I don't understand, I'm doing all this stuff. And I'll ask themselves, like, how much downtime do you have in a day? I don't have any downtime. Well, okay. So how do we expect things to integrate if we don't have any downtime? Waking up, people oftentimes take for granted. People oftentimes take for granted and think, well, I just slept, so it's time to start doing things. Actually, it's time to say thank you that I got another day on this planet, and I'm going to focus on just integrating the fact that I woke up today for 10 slow, big, deep breaths, or for up to 3 minutes, whichever you feel is best, before I'm going to do anything else. And I'm going to ask myself to focus on slow, big, deep breaths. Now, if you tell me you don't have time to do that, I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to say you're not used to taking the time to do that. This is something that I have learned is incredibly important from a point of conscious living. If I don't choose to take time before I get up and give to the world, I give a lot of energy to people I love, to my community, to the world itself. If I don't choose to just create that space for myself, I become more depleted in a day than less depleted in a day, simply by choosing to be conscious and focused on my breath for that first 3-minute time frame in a given day. Slow, big, deep breaths. If you've gotten into a habit of being on your phone first thing in the morning, I am telling you, if you are wanting to create more peace of mind, less anxiety, more harmony, and more of a healing pack, if you're actually wanting to physically heal the body, this is a critical habit to change, and I don't say that lightly. For people that I work with chronic conditions, I ask them for the first hour of their day, they stay off their telephone. You never know who's texting you, what you're going to see. I can be at peace and I can see something scary and my peace goes out the window in 2 seconds. It's happened to me before. All of a sudden I'm like, oh, and I get a stalk alert and I'm like, ah, all of a sudden when something dropped, right? Well, that's a pretty crappy way to choose to spend my first 3 minutes of the day freaking myself out with something that's completely out of my control. So to ease into the day with a conscious connection is such a gift to give to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. You flow differently throughout the day. That's the best thing I could say. That's the best way to describe it. You flow differently throughout the day. Your nerves are more relaxed. You're going to feel more calm. If you have problems with anxiety, that's going to start to shift because you're creating that beautiful space in the day instead of let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. That let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go is oftentimes a lack of trust, and it's oftentimes created in the central nervous system from a point of trauma. So if you're going to change one habit where you can receive more. Try not to think about adding more and more stuff to your plate. This is something where it's shifting what you're doing to create a different 3-minute window for yourself. And if you're going to tell me you genuinely don't have that time, then when you go to the bathroom, spend your 10 breaths there, breathing in, holding, exhaling out. I promise you, you have the time. If your brain is telling you you don't, I want you to really question that. And that is such a big part of the work that I do as a medical intuitive, is ask you to be curious about why your brain is telling you half of the things that it does, and to learn to gain a certain amount of control. When you allow yourself to breathe for 10 deep breaths in the morning, in through the nose, holding, out through the mouth. You're giving yourself a gift, and you're boosting your battery pack, your healing pack. You're helping your nervous system be calm and relaxed in the transition of the day. If you have a child, do the same thing. You gently wake them up. You don't yell at them to wake up. You don't gently, you don't them. You're gentle with them. You help them integrate the day in a calm, loving way. If you don't, their nervous system is going to be pretty jacked up as well. So allow yourself to think. Start the day with a gentle space. And that gentle space will rejuvenate your body, your mind, and your spirit over time. Give yourself something that you know you can find comfort in, which is your own breath. Because your breath is what creates peace. Your breath is what creates harmony. Your breath is what creates life. So give yourself that space. Ditch the phone, whatever other habits you have, for the first 3 minutes of the day, breathing in, holding, exhaling out. If your goal is to create a healing structure where you're capable of healing, capable of profound change, the biggest piece of the puzzle for this year is simplifying, being more present, and not multitasking at the level that you've been, and also simplifying your schedule, simplifying everything around you like I talked about last video. Check that video out. If you enjoyed the contents of this, please share it. Share it on your Facebook page. Tag me in it so I can say thank you. Share it with your friends. Send a link to people. Do whatever you can. Share positive information, because community is critical to create strength in our own healing, but also in the healing of the beautiful world that we live in. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you get notification when we launch something new. On average, this year, we're going to be launching things twice a month, and then we'll have some little shorts that we put out with little healing bits and pieces, which I'm excited about this year. And that's part of us as a unit here at Gratitude Unlimited, allowing us to simplify and allowing us to maximize on what our gifts are and what we can do to help our communities grow as strong as possible. Help spread the word. Allow yourself to be a gift in this world, because you truly are one. Big, deep breaths when you wake up in the morning. It's a game changer.